can
Sir,
start actually.
And I have a request. Can you start from variance? It was not completed.
Sure,
Okay.
definitely. We can. Yeah, we can just have a quick recap what we have studied so far. So just give me 1 minute. Let me open up my link. Then I will start.
Please make Nilanjan the host. Alokda, can you hear me?
I think he is not there.
No, I'm telling him. Over the phone, I'm giving a call.
Oh, okay.
অলকদা নীলাঞ্জনকে একটু হোস্ট করে দেন।
Good afternoon, Nilanjan sir.
1 minute. Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
হ্যাঁ 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 ঠিক আছে অলকদা, তাহলে আমি লিভ করছি। হ্যাঁ, ওকে।
Okay, so I can see that most of you have joined here. So I think it's good to start now.
নীলাঞ্জন, you are the host
Very
now.
good afternoon. Okay, sure.
So carry on.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Sure,
you very
definitely.
much. Thank you everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So I'm just sharing my screen, guys. A very good afternoon to all of you. Okay, why the screen is not coming? Guys, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. So guys, let's have a recap of the previous session quickly. Then I will take you through the next or the remaining part of, not remaining part actually, the next part of the statistics first. Maybe first half an hour, 40 minutes we'll spend for the statistics part. Then we'll move ahead with Python. Okay. So that is the plan. And also guys, I am thinking to introduce the data structure with Python. Okay. Probably few of you are familiar with data structure and few of you are not. So I have prepared. So how many of you are familiar with data structure? Guys, how many of you are familiar with this term called data structure?
Not so much.
Sorry?
Not so much, sir.
Not so much. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
I am not so much think about data structure.
No problem, guys. I will take since see when we will start learning the high-end machine learning techniques and all these things, we should know the data structure very well. So I have prepared also a deck. Maybe not today I will share these things. Maybe later I can share, or maybe I can share this deck also. Not an issue. I just have prepared the data structure deck. So it is not a single slide. Multiple slides are there. Complexity theory, big O notation, ortho notation, and all these things are there. And there are some beautiful mathematics are also there behind the line. So I can just give you that. No problem, guys. I think let's not introduce these things right now. Let us focus on the previous topic that you have started earlier. Okay. So guys, quickly data type. So there are 3 types of data. This time I'm not asking you whether you have understood or not. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can raise your voice. So based on sources, type of values, based on period of reference or time, based on sources, primary data, secondary data, type of values, quantitative or numeric data, and categorical or the non-numeric or the qualitative data. So quantitative data are 2 types: discrete data, continuous data. Based on period of reference or time, there are 2 sorts of data. One is time series data, another one is cross-sectional data. Fair enough. This part is already done. Already we know what is discrete, what is continuous. If you have any confusion, guys, I'm waiting for a minute. You can ask me. Since all of you are okay with this, So moving to the next level. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next level is basically, remember we have discussed four measurement matrix, four measurement scale rather. Sorry, why I am selecting this. 1 minute, guys. So, nominal, ordinal, sorry, INPER, interval, and ratio. These four measurement scale we have discussed.
Yes.
Guys, quickly tell me what is nominal scale?
Nominal scale.
Guys, I want active participant. I don't want you guys to be silo. Okay. I can see that few of you are responding, but I want everybody's response.
The nominal scale where the data has no ordinal, or data has no categorized. Okay, we do not categorize. As an example, male, female, boys, girls.
Has
Hello.
no category. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nominal scale it's a scale like where we are going to use some labels to classify some of the cases.
Give me an example, please.
Example means, sir, it could be like related, if you can say, if you can, I can say it will be religious affiliation, something like, if you can say CT.
Okay.
Something like that, sir. Or even the city where you can live something.
Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfectly okay. Okay.
City language is it a nominal?
Yeah, the
Like
language could be
German,
nominal.
English, French. Okay.
Yeah. So nominal, the definition, by definition, actually it has no order. First of all, it is categorical data, but it has no order, and you cannot perform any mathematical operation with that data. Okay. So this type of data are known as nominal data. Okay. The ordinal, the next one, please tell me what is ordinal data?
The ordinal data is a particular data which has the order, like first year, second year, or the kid, child, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to go in order. Without order, we can't.
Like first year, second year, third year. And
Sir, ordinal data, I think it's like how you are rating something like
means,
happiness level in US or happiness index in UK. So if somebody is giving 8 or 9.
Excuse me, can you please just tell me happiness level in US? What did you say? I didn't get you actually.
I mean happiness
what do you
index
mean by
in
that?
US.
Can you please explain me that? Can you please explain
Yes, I mean
me
how many people? Yes, I mean how many people are happy or something like this. I think.
No, not exactly. Not exactly.
Okay.
One thing can be happen when we get some customer from suppose Flipkart, they get rating 1, 2, 3 or happiness. I think it is try to say
that you can say, but the thing is actually rating actually high, medium, low. If it is the rating, then you can put it in ordinal. But 1, 2, 3, I am not a big fan to say ordinal, because ordinal means you cannot perform any mathematical operation, right?
Not 1, 2, 3. Suppose grade gradation. Yes,
that
high, medium, low, it's fine. I mean, if you say high, medium, low, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like can we say, sir, like the data like we are going to it will be
Sir,
there like
it will be 1-star rating, 2-star rating, 3-star rating.
Yes. Actually, I wanted to say like
1 star. If you say that, then it's fine. Yeah, 1 star. If you say, then it's fine. But just if you put 1, 2, 3, 4 as a number, don't say.
No,
sir.
No, sir. Not as a number, but as a rating. I mean,
as rating.
1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 8 star.
That is true. That is true. Fine. We are okay. That means we are very much okay with this rule. And what is interval? Though it is not required throughout the journey, we will not interval scale. But actually, it is good to know this name actually, interval scale. What is the interval scale, guys? Quickly. Where 0 has no significant position.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
0 is changeable, or maybe it has no proper significant position. So your x0, y0 axis is not fixed. Remember the
Yes.
temperature of two classes, or maybe mom says and her daughter says. We have discussed, right?
Yes, sir.
So those are basically falls under interval scale. Now the final one is basically the ratio scale. What is the ratio scale? A ratio scale is more like you can perform any mathematical operation that we have discussed, right? From your
Unit is fixed.
house,
Origin is fixed in ratio scale.
correct.
The
Your
location of
x0, y0 axis,
yes, zero position is fixed.
correct. Absolutely right.
And
Fair enough.
their interval will be same, I think, ratio data.
Don't get into the interval for the time being. I don't want to make people confused actually. If you know, then keep it with you. Interval maybe we can discuss later. Hmm?
Okay, sir. Okay.
After probability theory, maybe we can discuss the interval, because some people may or may not understand what is interval actually. What do you mean by interval? Because of that reason, actually, let's keep it with you. Maybe we can discuss after probability theory. Maybe the next week actually we can discuss that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. So then, what else actually have discussed? We have discussed something called
Population.
population and sample. Population and sample we have discussed, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So what is population? What is sample? Quickly, guys. Let's not
The
waste time.
small n is sample and the big n, capital N is
No,
population.
that is not the thing. I mean, that is the denote. I mean, you can
When
denote.
we mean the whole set, then it comes the population term. And when we take any sample from this set for testing purpose, this is the sample term comes.
Yeah, you can say that. So it's basically a subset of the entire set. You can say. If you
Yes,
go
yes.
by the set theory
Like
notation,
one state is a sample set of India.
yeah, you can say. Right. So basically, it's a subset of the entire set. Very good. Okay. Now let's come to the mean median mode part. I think all of you guys are familiar, right? Mean median mode.
Yes.
Maybe we can just quickly discuss. Okay. So let me just take some numbers over here. What would be the mean? Already we have taken these things, but anyway, what is the mean? What is, I mean, I'm just asking, I'm not, no, I didn't mean that. I'm not looking for the number. I'm looking for the definition.
Summation of all the numbers by total number.
Sir, mean is the average.
It is the average sum of the total values and divided by number of values.
Total number of value.
Here
Divided
15
by
by
number
5.
of occurrence.
Samples, I think. Total number of
Absolutely,
samples.
absolutely.
Yes, sample.
Number of samples.
Yeah, that's fine, guys. You all are okay. You all are right. So basically, the number of samples, the summation of number of samples divided by the number of samples. Suppose here we have 5 samples. Okay. So guys, since actually we are mentioning here samples, but ideally it is a sample. That's true. But sample in bigger respect or in bigger aspect or in statistical terms, samples means actually row. Okay. So if you go, the moment we're heading up into the statistics, the core statistics part and maybe the machine learning part, then we'll see that samples means actually the row and features means the column. Features or the variables. Okay, those are basically columns. So maybe you may get confused that point in time. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
before.
I'm little bit confused.
No, still, I mean, are you confused now?
No, if you
this
tell
scenario.
later on, then it will be clear. What is row column is taking as a sample and
Correct. So yeah, that time I will tell you, but I'm just giving you a hints actually. Later we can use it. Anyway, so mean we can understand. What is median then? How to calculate median, guys? I'm not looking for the number.
If total number is odd, then the middle part is the median. And
in case the mean and the median value will be same.
That's a different call. That's a different call altogether. But what is median actually? I've asked.
Sir, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here median is 3.
3.
Because total number of numbers is odd, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mhm.
Then median is 3.
First
Sir,
of
if
all,
it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then the median would be
Mhm.
3 plus 4 by 2.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good.
but if the order is not properly, then we have to order it. Suppose 2, 3, 5,
Absolutely.
1,
Actually, I
5.
was looking for these things. I was looking for these things. Yes. So first, before saying median, you have to order it first. So any
You
data
have to
that
order
you
it.
have,
Yes.
yes, first you have to put it in either ascending order or maybe in
Or
descending order.
descending order.
Okay. Yeah, any one of these order, ascending and descending, both are accepted. So you have to put it in order first, then you can calculate the mean. Guys, please remember these things. Suppose your number is something like this, okay? Then you have to put it in order.
Yes.
You cannot take these things and you cannot say the median is basically 1. No, that is not true. Okay?
Yes.
And when the number is even, then you have to club these 2. So 3 plus 4 by 2. Middlemost 2. So it is the formula is n plus 1 by 2. Okay. Fine. We are okay then. Now for mode. Okay. I'm going to the mode. Okay.
Sir, mode is the number of occurrence of a single number.
Very good. Yes, exactly. For individual number of occurrence. If I say mode
Number
of
of
1, 1.
Mode of 1
Mode
is
of
1,
2,
mode of 2 is 1, mode of 3 is 1,
yes.
mode of 4 is
For
1,
everything
mode
it
of
is 1.
5 is
Because
1.
one time it has
Everything it
occurred.
is.
Right?
Yes.
Correct. Now if I just put multiple ones, then
Mode of
you
Sir, it would be mode of 1 would be 6,
6.
then mode of 2 would be 1,
rest of
mode of 3 would be
Rest of the portion is 1.
correct. So this particular situation, a scenario is known as it has a name
Unimodal.
actually. Absolutely. It is an unimodal scenario. Very good. Okay. Now, if I put like this, just hang on for a minute. Then this is a bimodal scenario. Bimodal scenario because 2 times peak will up. Okay.
Sir, one question here. Here,
Yeah,
number of 1 is 6 and number of 2 is 5. So can we say here binodal, or we have to put the number of 2 should be 6?
I
Am I
didn't
clear?
get your question.
Okay.
No, I didn't get your question. Tell me.
I'm repeating. So here number of 1 is 6 and number of 2 is 5. Okay.
Okay.
So can we tell this it is the binodal, or binodal the condition should be the number of 2 should be 6 like 1? Am I clear?
No. That is, I got your point, what you're saying. No, it is not mandatory that both the number has to be the same. Bimodal means actually 2 peak could be there. But 2 peak, actually, if you think about any hill, in a particular hill, 2 hillocks, okay, or maybe hilary, basically. 2 hillaries won't be the same. I mean, it is not required that 2 peak would be the same for a particular hill. Okay?
Clear, sir. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. And if it is beyond 2, then we are not going to say it is trimodal or any other. It's basically a multimodal scenario.
Multimodal, yes,
okay. Yes. Perfect. So we are okay with mean median mode. That is fine. What is outlier, guys? What is an outlier?
One class has 50 students and one teacher is come and the teacher age is like 50 and the student's age is 24. So 30 is the outlier, like teacher is outlier.
Okay. Yeah, so basically
suppose outlier is the maximum value which is beyond average. That is called the outlier, I think. It is the maximum.
It will be
maximum or
minimum
minimum also. Yes.
Maximum or minimum. Yes, maximum or very minimum.
And more importantly, it is so don't take this example. It will be completely wrong. Don't say it is beyond the mean value. No, it is not actually the right answer. Mean
Okay,
is
okay.
not our lookout. Okay. Actually, when we build treatment, so there is a concept called outlier treatment. Actually, if your model has some outlier, if the moment we will heading up into machine learning or statistical learning example, we will see that outlier will be a painful thing for us. If your model has some outlier, it would be biased. Okay, it will be biased towards that. Your mean will be shifted. We have seen that. Your median has no, I mean, your median will get, very less impact, but your mean will be impacted. Because of that reason, we should take care of the outlier, and we will detect outlier. There are various ways actually you can detect outlier. Few popular techniques are Six Sigma technique, then IQ or inter-quarter range technique, G-score technique or the Z-score technique. So there are multiple techniques are there across the industry. But yeah, so outlier does not mean it's basically some deviation from the mean. Rather, we should say it is a deviation from a particular range. Okay. So some
Can we
students.
define outlier like the value beyond the set is called outlier? Here the set is beyond the set.
Yeah, you can say that is what I'm saying in a different mode actually.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's basically a range. So
Yes.
set range, I mean, you can say it is a list or you can say it's an array, doesn't
Yes.
matter. So I'm saying that's why I'm saying it's a range actually.
Okay.
So the example that one of you has given, the teacher and student example, in a particular class, let's say fifth standard student, what will be their age? Hardly 10, 12, something like that. Okay. So the minimum age, let's say, is 9 years and maximum age is 12 years. Okay. And the teacher's age is 45. Now 9 to 12, that is your age. That means that is your range. So all the students will fall within the particular range.
Yes, sir. With beyond the range, actually, not beyond the average, beyond the range.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. So it could be either side. I mean, in the lower side or maybe on the upper side. Remember, I have given two examples. One is from student side, another one is from teacher side. So
Yes,
one point in time, teacher is an outlier, another time, teacher is an outlier. Guys, one thing I want to share. Don't consider that outlier will always be one single particular point. No, it is not the case. It may more than one. And most of the time you will find more than one. Hardly will find one particular case which is an outlier. Though just for your understanding, I have given there are 50 students in a class and one teacher out of the 50 students. But
No,
that
no.
is not the,
If that is 5 lakh students are there and like 500 teachers are there,
yes.
also that is.
So your outlier could be another data point, multiple data points. What I'm trying to say. Guys, if you have any doubt, you can tell me. Okay. Otherwise, we can move ahead to the next level.
Okay.
I'm waiting here for rest of you. Some people are responding. Some people are completely in. I don't know why you guys are you feeling shy or something. I don't know why you are in silo when I'm asking something or when I'm questioning something. So please make sure that actually you are responding.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, it will be very difficult for me to understand that whether you have understood or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
So I would request to all of you, please respond. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fair enough. Now let's heading up into the next spiral. So that was a question from Tarpon, I believe, right?
Yes.
Variance.
Yes, sir.
So you asked me about variance. So you see, actually, without seeing you, I can take the name. Okay. Because actually, people who are responding, I can remember them. It's very straightforward. Okay. So variance is what? Let me draw a picture. Actually, it will be more intuitive to understand. Okay.
Nilanjan, sir.
Tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me. I can hear
Sir,
you.
yeah, I just want to ask that. Can you tell me, what is exactly we are going to use this variance in which particular place, like the variance we are going to use exactly?
Well, variance and standard deviation, actually variance we will not directly use. Actually, we will
Okay.
use the standard deviation because standard deviation is nothing but the square root of variance. Root over of s square means actually the standard deviation. Standard
Okay.
deviation, it's a nice question actually. Standard
Okay.
deviation, we can use it for
Uh,
this outlier treatment, outlier
okay.
detection and outlier treatment. We can use it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
welcome. And there are a lot of other places also where we will use standard deviation because it's a very important component, you know. So for our EDA or for feature engineering, we have to do standard deviation. Okay, fine. So now what I'm trying to say, so I have drawn one picture earlier also. I'm going to draw the same picture again. Let's say there are 4, 5 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that. Okay. So let's say 1 is there, then let me take this 2, and this is let's say 3, and then 4, and then 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 different data points. Now, what I'm trying to say, variance is nothing but the overall deviation from the mean. Again, I'm repeating, variance is nothing but the overall deviation of the data points from the mean. What is the mean here? The mean is 3. Okay. Now, overall deviation means actually we are summing them up, summation. It's basically summation. So what is the deviation from this 1th point? 1 is basically a number over here, but it is a point also because that's you are right, -2. But yeah, basically the deviation from this particular point to this point. So basically every point they are lying on x-axis, right? This is our x-axis. It is negative x-axis, positive. So x minus and x plus, you can say. So this is one point, this is another point, this is another point, this is also a point. Okay, we have multiple points over here. Now, so basically this is the deviation 1 minus 3, 2 minus 3, then 3 minus 3, then 4 minus 3, 5 minus 3. So if you club them all, if you sum them up, then we will divide with the total number. That is known as the standard deviation, variance. So to calculate variance, remember we have discussed already. So to calculate variance, we have taken square. So summation we can understand. So deviation from each data point. So if 1 is a data point and if 3 is a data point, so 1, 2, 3, what is the deviation? We are taking that thing using this minus sign. Xi is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 values. Okay. Your x bar is nothing but your mean value. So every time you are subtracting your mean from each data point. And then finally you are summing them up. Up to this level we are okay. Now why we have taken square? Because they are following Euclidean distance distribution. So remember we have discussed last time. So how to calculate the distance between two data points? Euclidean distance. Okay.
Yes.
So here it is following a type of Euclidean distance formula. Distance between two data points or 2 points actually rather. Okay. All right. Then divided by the number of occurrences or the number of values. So it's n is a natural number. Now for the population we are saying capital N, but for the sample why we are saying n minus 1, guys?
You have told that degree of freedom is n minus 1, but not clear to me.
That's fine. I will explain degree of freedom, which is fine. But why we are taking n minus 1? Degree of freedom, n minus 1 is nothing but the degree of freedom, which is fine. But why we are taking n minus 1? Any one of you can give me an answer?
When n minus 1, that is the sample. So we can't take all the values from the population. So that's why we have to neglect 1. Though I'm not correct. Neglect 1, that means n. If we collected from all the population value, that is it will be sample, that is the n. But sometimes maybe we can't collect all the values. That's why we are treating as n minus 1. I am not clear though.
Okay. Any one of you, rest of you, what is your understanding, guys, from last session? What happened? There's no answer. Team, it's a large team. 13, 14 members are here. There's no answer from rest of you. If you haven't understood, then you can tell me now that Nilanjana, I'm not being able to understand.
Sir, is it a subset of n? That's why you are taking n minus 1.
Yeah, that's true. But why I'm taking n minus 1? That is my question. Subset, it is true. Absolutely right. Small n is always a subset of capital N. See, n is basically, if I just say Indian population, okay, it is the complete set, okay, 100%. Now, I can create sample. Is there any fixed criteria that I cannot create sample like this? Like I have to take, every time I have to take all the data from individual state, like I have to take it from Goa, I have to take it from Karnataka, I have to take it from West Bengal, I have to take it from Delhi. Is it the case? I can make any number of combinations. N combinations I can make, right?
Yes.
N number of combinations I can make.
Yes.
But this time, if I freeze some number, because I'm calculating it for a particular sample, right? So let's say out of 100 samples, I'm taking 5 samples. That means those 5 samples are not usable for any other type of combinations. I'm freezing it, a particular set, a particular section I'm freezing.
Yes.
Because of that reason, it is n minus 1 sample. So total n possible samples you can create. If you're not familiar with the combinatorics formula or combinations, simple mathematical term, combinations, I would request you to go to today evening, you just go and explore combination and permutation. It's very straightforward and simple, because it is needed. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what is combination, because it is not a mathematics session that I will teach you combinations or permutation. If it is required, I will teach you. But I am expecting that all of you are familiar with class 10th level mathematics. Okay. So it's basically n number of possible combinations we can create. Out of that, one sample already we have fridge. So how many possible combinations we can create? N minus 1 possible combinations.
Yes, sir.
So the degree of freedom is also the same thing. Degree of freedom is nothing but, let me just give you a simple example. I am giving you, or I am telling you, you please create 100 using 10 different numbers. Okay. So how you will create, that is your call. You can create, 3 plus 1 multiplied with 2, 20, whatever you want. Like 0 to 9, that's it. Okay. If I say that please create 100 using 0 to 9, how you will create, it is your call. Now if I say, you please create 100 with 0 to 9, but one number would be 3. Oh, sorry. Actually, it is my mistake. I should not give this kind of example. Rather, I am saying you use 10 different number and create 100. So 10 number could be anything. 20, 30, 15, 16, anything. Now, if I just say one number would be 3, then I'm putting one level of restriction. This time your number is not 10. You are not allowed to you are not allowed to choose 10 individual numbers. You are allowed to choose 9 individual numbers in your own way, one number in my way. Is this clear or any confusion?
Yes, yes.
Clear, sir, now.
Perfect. Okay. So that is called the degree of freedom. So here the degree of freedom is, sorry.
But sir, why we have used this like n minus 1, like this type of formula where we are using this?
That is what I'm saying. See, n minus 1 means what? How many possible combinations you could have created?
Yes.
How many possible samples you can create?
N.
N sample you can
N
create.
samples, sir.
Yes.
So once you have fixed the number of sample, a particular set of sample, suppose n is 10. Let n may be very much disturbing for you. I'm saying that n is basically 10. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just put n is equal to 10. Okay. So if I write n equal to 10, that means your so your n is basically how much? 10.
10.
That means you can create 10 different possible samples.
Yes.
But unfortunately, some of the numbers you have already captured. You cannot use it further. Correct?
Okay.
So I'm saying those set is basically 1 because you have fixed one particular set. Let's say 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 numbers you have suddenly captured. Okay. You are not allowed to use these 5 numbers. So this is one set.
Yes.
Correct? So
Yes.
you can create, so suppose if you have 1 to 100, we could have created n number of possible combinations, right? Out
Yes.
of that, one particular possible combination is fridge. You cannot move it. I have already taken, that means 1 to 5 is not usable anymore. So if you can create 10 possible combinations, out of that one possible combinations, you have to remove because that particular possible combination is not applicable for next time or for rest of the time. That's why I'm writing n equal to 10 minus 1, or sorry, n minus 1. N minus 1 possible combinations you can create. That is your sample size. How many possible sample you can create? That is n possible sample. But since you have used one particular sample, you are not allowed to use that particular sample further. So now you have a restriction and now you are eligible to use 9 possible combinations.
Sir, when the second
Making
time,
sense?
hello, when the second
tell me.
time I am taking the sample, then it would be n minus 2.
Absolutely. If you
And
freeze
that,
and if you reiterate these things, it would be n minus 2, it would be n minus 3, something like that. The more iteration you will perform, the less amount of sample size would be. Subset rather, you can say. Out of 50 apple, 5 apple is basically a subset. So 1 to 5 is basically a subset, and I'm saying one subset I have taken. Again, after that, some XYZ person has taken 3 subset from rest of those 10 set. Then it would be another subset. Like one subset earlier I have taken. Suppose I am Mr. X. Now Mr. Y, if he or she has, if he has taken another subset, let's say 3, then it would be 1 again. So every time you are taking subset, it would be 1, 1, 1, 1, something like that.
Okay.
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 Guys,
yes,
is it making sense to you?
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. No problem. So standard deviation, it's nothing but the root over of variance. Okay. This is basically the root over of variance. We can see that. Okay. Now, coefficient of the variance, it's not so important. I mean, it is important, but for that, I mean, we can skip it. Now we can focus on something else. We can focus on the distribution. And last time actually I missed this part, and today I will finish this part, I can assure you. Okay. Guys, I need your attention, not here, maybe after sometimes. These are very easy steps, but we will use it extensively. These steps also will be using extensively, especially the skewness. There are two things. Pictorially, I will show you skewness and kurtosis. Okay, I will not take you through the mathematical way because the mathematical way is not required for the time being. But yeah, pictorial representation will make sense to you. The skewness and the kurtosis. Today we will discuss these two things. And remember, guys, this skewness we will use extensively when we start learning hypothesis testing. Okay, that is very important, and we should check that thing. And throughout our machine learning exercise, when we will start doing the feature engineering, this skewness also will help us a lot. Whether it is right skewed, whether it is left skewed, and all this distribution will help us to perform EDA, exploratory data analysis. People who are not so familiar with this term, don't take it as a very bombarding type of work. I have no plan to do that. I will not show you some big words and I will say, oh, it's very difficult thing to understand. No, not at all. Okay, so let's talk about the skewness. Skewness has three types: the left skewed, right skewed, and symmetric. Something are written over here: mean, median, mode, and all these things. Forget it. Just forget it. Don't look into this mean, median, mode. Let me give you a very simple example. It will be very intuitive and for your understanding, and it can help you to understand this properly. So left skewed, one thing is clear: the slope, you can say. Slope, you know, it is a geometric slope, you know. Slope already have studied in geometry also.
Yes.
So I can create a new thing. Okay, just 1 minute, please. Where all we have used slope, guys? Everybody is forgotten, I think. Geometry. Let me create a geometric shape. You can correlate. What it is exactly? It's a triangle.
Yes.
So this is basically the slope, right?
Yes.
This is the slope of the triangle. Perfect. Now, it kind of look like this. Can I say this is a kind of slope?
Yes, sir.
It is more like a slope, right? This particular, you can see my movement. Okay, this particular direction. I could have copied these things. I don't know. Anyway.
We can understand, but after the 25.
Hang on. I'll explain that.
Okay.
What is left skewed? I will give you a very nice example. I think it will be very intuitive. So the example is very straightforward. Think that you are in a town. Maybe in village, this situation is a little bit difficult. But suppose you are in a town and you are staying nearby a bus stop. Okay. In the morning, suppose in the 6 a.m. in the morning, how many people you will find who are standing over there in the bus stand to go somewhere? A very few, not a huge person. I mean, not a huge people. Have you ever seen that in the 6 p.m. in the morning, huge people are standing in the bus stand to catch up a bus? In weekdays time I'm talking about. No?
No.
So let's say 5 people are standing there. Okay. Somewhere around 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay. 6 a.m. in the morning, 5 people we can see. Somewhere around 8 a.m. in the morning, people are making themselves ready and they came out from the houses and homes and they're waiting nearby their bus stop to catch up a bus or maybe auto or something else to reach to their office. Okay, to reach out to their office. Now, suppose in 8 a.m. we have found that 10 people are standing over there in the bus stop. The time goes up 8 to 9, 9 to 9:30, then 10, and so on. And suddenly we have found that somewhere around 10 a.m. in the morning, the maximum people are standing. Let's say 25 people are standing at a time. So that is the maximum scenario. So how your slope is growing. It is growing from left to right direction. So from particular location to going up actually. So its directionality is basically left to right direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why if you see the slope is towards the left side. The way actually the data are arranged, it is more like a left direction. And after that, let's say after 10 p.m. again you will find there is a fall, drastical fall. The people, you will not find that much people are waiting nearby the bus stop. That is almost a common scenario in Kolkata and other city, where people start their journey a little bit later or their office a little bit later. City like Bangalore, office time is a little bit earlier, somewhere around 9:30. People try to reach to their office. So in that case, crowd will be shifted to 8 maybe. So time is not a big factor. The factor is the understanding. Left skewed means, so if you put the data in this fashion, so it will show you such this kind of thing. It would be more like this. So somehow from here, your journey will be started, or your data will be started, and it will go up, 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 and particular point in time, again, it will fall down. Let's say after 10 p.m., 10 a.m., you will not find a huge people who are standing over there in the bus stop.
Yes.
Okay. This is a scenario of left skewed. In this particular scenario, if you calculate, if you put the number, and if you calculate mean, median, mode, you will find mean is the lowest value. Median is the middle one, and the mode is the maximum. Mode is what? The frequency or the number of occurrence. What is the number of occurrence? 25. This is the maximum number of occurrence. Correct? So this is the maximum head count, I can say. So that's why mode is high.
Sir.
Tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. But skewness is something like the asymmetrical distribution, right? The graph it will show that this is a asymmetrical distribution, right? In an asymmetric form, like it was not in a symmetrical proper form.
Quite obvious, yeah. Of course, right. Of course, right. Yeah. It is an asymmetric distribution. You are right.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your question? Is that your question?
Yes, sir. And the next question is like, sir, like can we in skewness, like can we take a value like something that it will be negative or positive, something like that, or something just while in the meanwhile time we can say it is undetermined also.
Skewness is undetermined.
Yeah, I mean to say like the value.
Why this value is undetermined? Why you have suddenly started thinking like this? What makes you feel like that?
Actually, sir, it was I have a doubt regarding skewness. So like that's why I'm asking that what is like we are going to take like the value if we are going to determine some value in skewness. So value should be in positive, negative.
It is completely. See, at the moment we're heading up into the hypothesis testing, maybe that will help you to understand skewness better. But this time, actually, I'm just taking you through in layman term. Okay.
Okay.
The skewness would be minus infinite to plus infinite.
Okay? Yeah. Yes,
if you talk about the symmetric, minus infinite to plus infinite depends upon your data. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, if your data distribution is something like which is measurable or countable, then it will obviously it will not be the scenario. It is undefined. It will always be defined. And trust me, though we mathematically see, that is the difference between mathematics and statistics. Okay, mathematics can say you some imaginary world scenario, but statistics will never tell you that imaginary world scenario. So in statistics, you will never find any scenario where people are talking about infinite. Infinite cannot be a value.
Okay.
So undefined, there is nothing called undefined in statistical term. Or even if it is there, of course, statistics and mathematics are very much closely related to each other. But statistics try to ignore all those things. So infinite is not a solution for statistics. It is only possible in that scenario undefined if the number is infinite. At least I can see that, because here we are talking about some distribution. Distribution cannot be undefined. Distribution is what? You are just putting some numbers. That's it. If your number is undefined, then it's a different thing. I don't know. But a number cannot be undefined, first of all. It's a realistic number you are putting, right? A head count cannot be undefined. Head count can always be defined.
Defined.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, welcome. No problem. The right skewed scenario, it is exactly just the opposite scenario of left skewed. Think like after 5 p.m. people are coming back from their offices. Okay. So what will happen? 5 p.m. most of the people will try to come out from their office, or maybe 6 p.m. Nowadays actually 5 p.m. is very absurd. 6 p.m. you can consider. You will find the maximum crowd in the major area of the town that people are trying to come out from their office, or maybe they have already left and they are planning to go their home or house, whatever. So the opposite directional flow will be happen or will occur. So let's say, again, I'm putting the same number, 25, 20. So the time, the more the time will increase. At 6 p.m., most of the people, they try to come out from the office in a particular city. If this is the culture, that's a city like Bangalore. Most of the people, they try to move out from the office somewhere around 6 p.m. evening. If you find 7 p.m., lesser people you will find. 8 p.m., lesser. 10 p.m., 9 p.m., lesser. 10 p.m., hardly you will find some people who are moving out from their offices. That way, if you consider, it will be right skewed. That means your data distributions are going to be in the different direction. If that is the scenario, then it becomes, in this scenario, mode would be minimum and mean would be maximum. But median would be as it is. So for whatever be the scenario, your median value hardly will be impacted. So if you see these particular 3 pictures, your median is always in the middle. It is not shifting. Your mean and mode are getting shifted. So this situation, mean is minimum, mode is maximum. This situation, mean is maximum, mode is minimum. And symmetric situation, you guys are familiar, right? It's a symmetric type of thing. I mean, your left and right side are identical. If I just draw a graph like this, I can draw a graph. It is more like a bell shape. It is known as the bell shape curve. And guys, please look into this graph. This is very much important. Okay, throughout the time, actually, we will talk about this graph. This particular graph, your left side and right side, it's more like a page of the books. It's exactly the same. If you just flip these two, I cannot flip it, I cannot show you. But if you just flip these two, if you just fold it, based on this, if you just consider this is the middle part and if you just fold it, then what will happen? One part will be just, it will come to this particular side. Your left will come to this right side. So it's basically the same. So your left and right distributions are same. Okay, this particular distribution is known as symmetric distribution. And guys, it is also known as the normal distribution. We will extensively talk about the normal distribution later. Okay, now let's move on to the next
example of this symmetric distribution. What you given to the about the book? It's the example or
yeah, it's more like a page of the book. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, both are identical. If you see page 1 and page 2,
I am asking actually a practical example. Is there any practical example about
practical example? Actually, yeah, you can just say that if you just remove this middle part, let's say, if you just take these two particular graphs, and if you just remove the middle part, let's say from 10 a.m. morning till 6 p.m. evening, if you just remove this part, it would be identical. We just club these two.
Yes.
These two pictures should be identical. Left and right side will be identical.
Yes.
Correct?
Okay. Then, so it depends on the value of what time I am taking. That is the x-axis or y-axis actually. So, am I right?
No, y-axis is basically your frequency.
Okay.
Count.
Along the x-axis, what time I'm taking, I can take it from morning, daytime, 10 to night 10. Then it will comes to the symmetric.
Correct.
Am I right? Okay. Thank you.
So, but you have to remove the middle part because that part we are not taking anyway. Okay, there is something called kurtosis. It is not so important for the time being. People who are more into complete statistical practice, they can see this kurtosis. Kurtosis, again, it is a data distribution. How your data is look like. Actually, theoretically, I'm saying you these things. Later, when you will see the data, actually when you plot it through some graphs or something, That point in time, we can see the distribution of the data, how it looks like exactly, how your data is looked. So suppose I have some data in Excel, and if I plot it, it should be like any one of these three, or maybe something like others. So if your data distribution is more like symmetric, again I'm telling you, if your data distribution is symmetric like this, it has three different, there could be three different possibilities. It could be pletocratic, it could be leptocratic, or maybe mesocratic. What is pletocratic scenario? It is more flat distribution. You see the peak are very low. Okay. If you see the leptocratic, peak are very high. Mesocratic is more like symmetric, proper symmetry. There is no actual difference between this symmetric and this mesocratic. Mesocratic scenario is more like your even distribution. Let me give you the example. It will be very much useful for you. What is a pletocratic distribution? Think of a time, or think of a rainy day. So in rainy day, how many people you will find? Suppose I'm just giving you the time also. 10 p.m. evening. How many people will find who are staying there in the bus stop to catch up some buses?
Very less.
Very low.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So in a year, though these three pictures are look like almost same, but actually this should be ideally small in size. Okay, the lower. How many days in a year you will find this kind of scenario? Hardly 10 days, 15 days, not more than that. Correct? A huge rainfall is, rainy day does not mean that huge, I mean very small rainfall is happening. Huge rainfall I'm talking about. That type of scenario will happen for maybe 10 to 15 days in a year. So out of 365 days. Okay. That's a classic example of pletocratic scenario. Okay. Now there is another scenario which is known as the leptocratic. Leptocratic is what? Leptocratic means in a particular point in time, suddenly you will find the peak of the graph is going up. So let me give a classic example. Let's think some festive time. Okay. Irrespective of any area, any location. So we belong from any religion. Okay. We have some religious festival, or there's some common festival. So it is a religious festival. That point in time, you will find some sudden gathering of the people. Okay. So you can consider anything. You can consider, let's say, in Karnataka. Karnataka, most of the time, actually, this type of gathering you will find which time. Actually, here, actually, I found Ganapati Chaturthi is very famous, or maybe there is some actually Vijaya Dashami is also very famous, I think, and some other. I mean, what is the local festivals actually? And another festival sometimes actually 14th January happens. It's not Onam actually, that's a name. I forgot it.
Pongal, like Pongal.
So, Pongal, right? Yeah, right. Pongal time actually you will find some people will not gather. Pongal actually most of the people they celebrate in home actually, but yeah. But in Ganpati Chaturthi and those things actually it's very famous in Karnataka. Most of the places.
Yes.
And let's talk about in Bombay. Bombay actually Ganpati Chaturthi again it is very famous. Okay. Now if you consider something like Eid, or maybe like actually Durga Puja, those type of stages, it happens for a very small period of time. Of course, you will not find that actually Eid is happening for 360 days, or maybe Durga Puja is happening for 500 days. No, that is not the case. It happens for maybe 3 to 4 days or maximum 5 days. But within that period of time, you will find a huge peak, a huge crowd in a particular city. People who are familiar with Kolkata, they can understand these things very properly. And at the time of Durga Puja, actually, you will find a huge crowd in Kolkata, inbound crowd. Okay. So this particular scenario is known as, that time if you plot the distribution of the people, you will find that the distribution is going up very high than the regular scenario. That time actually if you go to any bus stop, you will find thousands of people are standing to catch up a bus. Okay. So this type of scenario is known as the leptocratic scenario. Now, mesocratic scenario is more like it's basically a proper event distribution. Rest of the time, this is some exceptional scenario. Apart from these two scenarios, rest of the time, in if I consider the same time, 10 p.m. in the evening, you will find a certain type of people, like let's say 10 people are standing over there, 10, 15 people are standing over there. So this type of distribution is known as the mesocratic distribution. All right, so plutocratic, leptocratic, mesocratic, have you understood the distribution? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So guys, let's move on to the next level. Okay, thank you. Guys, move on to the next level, that is probability theory. I think it is very much popular to all of you. You guys are familiar with this name, probability theory. But yeah, let me just quickly take you through that. Okay, so here there is an example, there's a case study. I would request to all of you, please go through it.
Hello, sir. You are not
Yeah,
audible, sir.
Sorry? No, I didn't say anything. I said, please go through it.
Okay.
So we are going to find any probability regarding this question?
Yes, exactly. I'm going to introduce probability theory through these questions. Few ideas, few aspects from, using probability through these questions actually. So this time, I can see that girls are in silo. What happened, girls? Why you are in silo? Why you are not speaking? You are not liking this session, or what happened? So Neil, actually, what we are, I think you are here, right? You are in the group actually. Neil is from Karnataka, I believe, right? Neil is here in the group, or maybe he left.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me. Hello, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
So Neil actually, she just had joined these things, right? After that, actually, she left. Anyway, I think, yeah. So I think so this time actually I want to listen it from the girls, like Sonali and Nikita. Nikita, I didn't hear you actually for a long time actually. I don't know whether you are listening to me properly or not, but I would like to listen it from you. Tell me what we are saying here. What is the exact problem? So guys, just before asking you, Nikita, I'm holding you for 1 minute. This time onwards, whenever we will heading up into any statistical thing or machine learning thing, we will take one case study and we will try to understand that case study. I think that is a better way to understand any case study. Okay. Or any issue.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, Nikita. I will listen to you guys. Don't worry. But Nikita, I would love to listen it from you. Please tell me actually what is the problem here? What is the business problem? Nikita, are you with me? Nikita, can you hear me? She is Nikita, right? There's a lady named Nikita, I think. I can see that Nikita Meher.
Yes, Nikita.
Okay. I have never heard from her. I just want a complete participation from all of you. It should not be the case that 5 people are responding and rest of 15 people are just standing in queue. It should not be the case. Sonali, can you hear me? Am I audible to you, Sonali? I don't know. Girls, are you taking lap or something? I don't know. It's a Sunday lap actually. Maybe. Okay, guys, you please tell me. Yeah. So tell me, what is the business problem? Who is responding? Tanmay or Tapcom? I don't know. Actually. I haven't seen.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
what is the problem here? Please tell me.
here it has shown that the four friends are there. That's named John, Sam, Mike, and Tom.
Okay.
They are distributing 3 cards randomly, and Sam wanted wanted to know that he will have 1 king, queen, and 1 jack. So from the card, we all know that there is a king card and queen card and jack or joker card.
Sir, here they distribute 3 card each of them. I mean total 12 card, right? That are distributed.
Yeah, 12 card at a time. 12
Yes,
card
sir.
at a time. Yeah, just 1 minute. Let him complete these things. Yeah, Tabu, please carry on.
Then how it will calculate? That means can I give the answer or the explain the
No. You don't have to give me the answer. I'm trying to understand that whether you have understood the problem statement or not.
Okay, so here it is.
So
It
guys,
should be distributed. Yes. Yes, sir.
So tell me one thing. Have you ever seen the card, playing card?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many types of cards are there, or how many cards are there actually in the playing card?
Total
52 cards are there.
Total 52.
Four types of cards are there.
Okay.
So 4 cards are there.
Spade,
And each color
diamond.
And each color have 1 jack, 1 queen, 1
No. There are 2
No,
types
it's like
of color.
chidiya, queen, chudiya.
1 minute.
Lal
Okay,
pal.
let me, sir.
2 types of color. One is 26 are red and 26 are black.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not asking the number. I'm just asking the type actually. So
Sir, there are 52 cards. There are 52 cards distributed 4 types, and there are 13 cards each type.
Is it?
Yes.
It is.
Okay. So king, queen, jack, and what is the another one?
Called A. It is.
Don't use that word. Those local things.
Okay, sorry, sir.
It is A is written, and
No, it's okay.
AC.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and accessory and those things actually very local term actually.
And 1 to 10, and then the 4 cards is king, queen, jack, and ace.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, right. Now, what is our objective?
So I told wrong. 2 to 10. It will be.
No. Total 13. Total 13.
Yes. And number 1 is called A.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
A. उसके बाद K. उसके बाद J.
Okay, there is a sequence.
Don't
get
confused, guys. Just hang on. King, queen. Do you really think it is? I mean, 13. I don't think so.
No, sir.
King,
exactly.
Sorry.
There are 4 queen, 4 king, 4
Yes. 4 ace
and 4 jack and 4 ace.
4 ace. Yes.
Total 4.
Exactly.
Because there is spade, hearts, diamonds, and clubs.
Diamond and club,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Absolutely. I was just waiting for that kind of answer. Guys, don't think it is 13. No, that is not the distribution. King, queen, and jack. Yes, all these things are basically king, queen, jack maybe. Yes, I forgot. But these 3 things actually 4. Not 13.
Ace is also 4, I guess.
Yes.
I forgot it actually. I have to check. It's quite a long time actually.
I think A is 1, sir.
Sorry.
Sorry, A is 1, I think. Sir.
Just one.
Yeah.
That's fine.
A 1 and
Don't.
A is 1, sir.
It's fine. No problem. We can discuss that thing. That is not our lookup. Let's focus on the lookup part. Our lookup is basically.
Yes, king, queen, and jack.
So Sam wants to know what is the question here. The question is Sam wants to know what is the probability that he will get or he will have 1 king, one queen, and one jack. Correct?
Yes.
What is the probability? One king, one queen, and one jack. Getting one. So to calculate these things, what we need to do? We need to focus on few things. One is basically, so there are few concepts before probability. Before trying to understand the probability concept, we need to understand few concepts. One is trial, second one is outcome, third one is sample space, and fourth one is event. Then finally, we will reach out to probability. What is a trial? Trial, you guys are very much familiar. You guys are
how many attempts
like
actually done, sir? I think.
Some experiments, like
Experiment
how many
attempt.
how many attempts it's done. It is partially correct. Why I'm saying it's partially correct? Because attempt to what? Attempt to get a correct value.
Yes, yes.
Correct. So just make it. Let me make it very understandable. Let me make your understanding very easy. So trial room, there is a concept called trial room, right? If you go to any shopping mall or maybe any store,
Yes, sir.
there is a concept called trial room. What is the need of it? So that you will get the best fit jeans or best fit dress for you. Okay. What is fitting with your size, with your figure? Because of that reason, actually trial room is being used, right?
yes,
So that actually you can try with that things and finally you can reach out to the best fit for you. So here also the same thing. We are giving attempt to get the actual outcome or the best outcome. What is the best outcome? So every time Mike is distributing 3 cards, but what is our objective? Our objective is to find the probability to calculate one king, one queen, and one jack. Correct? So this is our lookout. Whatever be the card is there, doesn't matter. Our main focus is one king, one queen, and one jack when it is happening. So every 3 times the card is distributing, when it will come. So now that is known as the trial. Every time when Mike is distributing 3 cards to each one of them, it is known as a trial. So every time we are trying to get queen, queen, and jack. Correct me, or I mean, is it correct or not?
Correct.
Yeah. Then the result, that is the set of cards Sam gets, is called outcome of the trial. The outcome can be different, but how many? Now, how many times actually Sam is getting an outcome? So how many possible combinations we can get? 52 cards we have. Every time, how many cards we are distributing every time? 3 cards, right?
Yes.
So 52C3 way actually can combine those 3 cards. It could be any combinations. So total possible combinations is 22,100 possible combinations is possible. This is known as the outcome. How many possible combinations actually you can perform? 52 cards you have. Every time you are getting 3 cards. How many possible way you can get the outcome? 100 possible way you can get the outcome. Any questions here, guys? This is very straightforward. If you know combinations, it's very straightforward.
From where get this value 22,100?
It's like 52
It's
into
basically
51.
combination formula. It's a combinations formula. That's why I have requested. That's why I have requested to all of you. Please go and follow this combinations formula. If you don't understand, I can explain you combinations. Because combinations, I'm not supposed to explain you the combinations formula. It's a class 10 standard mathematics. Correct?
Okay.
If you don't understand, no problem. I can just help you to calculate those things actually. So even you can write it down also. I don't know. Should I write it or not? Anyway,
So it is like 52 into 51 into 50 divided by 3 into 2 is, I think.
I'm just
actual formula is n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial.
Yes. NCR.
Yeah, right. I'm writing it here. Just hang on for a second. I hope now you can. This is factorial, okay? N factorial.
By
n minus r
factorial
factorial, this is R factorial. Now I hope you guys can connect. Okay.
Yes.
I
N
read
is
the.
nothing but now you can connect, right?
Yes, sir. I can, sir. I can.
Perfect. So n factorial is nothing but, what is your number here? N is 52. Okay. So you have to write like this: 52 into 51 into 50 into dot dot dot. Okay. Up to 1.
Up to 1.
So 52 into 51 into 50 into 49 into 48 up to 1. And n minus r factorial is how much? N minus r. R is how much? It is 3, right? 52 C3. That was the value, right?
49.
So let's see.
Yes.
Yes, right. So 49.
Sir, it would be like
factorial is
52 factorial by 52 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial.
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Absolutely. Right. Now it is clear?
Yes, sir.
So let's move on. Now this total outcome, so every time you are getting an outcome, so total possible outcome is 22,100. This many possible combinations are there. And this 22,000 outcomes, 22,100, sorry, is known as sample space. Okay. Now, still we have understood a lot of understanding. Trial, outcome, sample space, we have understood these three concepts. This is fine. But still we are away from the actual question. The question was, Sam wants to know what is the probability that he will have one king, one queen, and one jack. Correct? So in that case, we should figure it out. So the occurrence that Sam said is found to be one king, one queen, and one jack is the event. Okay. So event is what? Let me make it very simple to you guys. Okay. So if you see the formula, the probability formula, N of A is basically the event, and N is basically the number of possible outcome, and this N represented the total number of possible outcomes. So what is the total number of possible outcome, guys? 22,100. Right? Out of that, few outcomes. So it is not the case that 22,100 outcome would be king, queen, jack. No. Out of that, few outcome will be king, queen, jack. Agreed or not?
Agreed.
So those outcome who are supporting king, queen, and jack, those are known as NA. Out of those 22,100 outcome. Are you guys clear? Let me make it clear. So what is an event? Event is nothing but, so out of this 22,100 distribution of possible combinations, what all combinations are supporting one king, one queen, and one jack. A king, a queen, a jack means one king, one queen, one jack. That is our question, right? This is our question. What is the probability? Still, we are yet to reach to the question, but anyway, main objective is to find one king, one queen, one jack probability. Now, how to calculate it? So, how many kings are there? 4. How many kings we want? 1. So 4C1 multiplied into how many queen is there? 4. How many queens we want at a time? 1. So again 4C1. How many jack is there? 4 jack. Out of that, how many jack we want at a time? That is 1. So 4C1 multiplied into 4C1 into multiplied into 4C1. That is 64 ways actually we can get one queen, one jack, one king. So that means, let me make it very simple. Total possible combinations is 22,100. This many outcome is possible. This many way actually you can combine 52 cards. If every time we are distributing 3 cards. Remember, it is not all the cases. If you distribute 4 cards at a time, of course this distribution will be changed. The combination will be changed. Of course. Okay. Now every time if you distribute 3 cards and if you have 52 cards, then 22,100 possible cards are possible. Now, Out of that, only 64 cards or 64 possible combinations which are supporting one king, one queen, one jack. But rest of the cards, they are not supporting. Okay. Now, how to calculate probability? Probability is nothing but the number of events, or the events which are number of events divided by total number of outcome. So 64 divided by 22,100 is basically the probability value. Remember one thing, guys, probability value is always lies between 0 to 1. So maximum is 100%. Minimum is 0%, maximum is 100%. That is the range of probability. Please note it down, or maybe I have written, I think. Yeah, I have written. You can see probability is lies between less than equal to, greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 1. So maximum value could be 1 or minimum value could be 0. Any question, guys? Have you understood what is probability?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Perfect. For the sake of the time, I'm not taking you through some classical probability. I will send it to you actually. You can just, if you are really interested, you can go through this dicing of throwing of dice, balls, and all these things. Actually, you can just go through these examples. These are some probability examples.
Yeah, is it required in our curriculum or?
Yes, probability is
Which
required.
Okay.
Probability is required. Probability is everything.
Yes.
Probability is the base of machine learning. Without probability, cannot move ahead. But we will not use probability formula and all these things. You don't have to calculate. But understanding is very important. Yeah. So there are two probability I will show you. There are huge, many types of probability distributions are there. Here I will show you two types of distribution. One is Bernoulli-Strauss or binary distribution. Another one is normal distribution. Especially the normal distribution is very famous in machine learning environment. So let me talk about those two. In fact, sometimes Bernoulli distribution is also very famous. So what is Bernoulli trials? Bernoulli is basically a scientist who had invented this particular data distribution or probability distribution. Based on his name, it is known as Bernoulli's trials. What is Bernoulli's trials? The scientist is saying, if you toss a coin, there are only two possible outcomes. Either head or tail. You will not find that coin is standing perpendicular on the ground. Hardly will find that. I mean, if there is an obstacle, then
coin is not biased, right?
Coin is not biased.
Bias.
What do you mean by bias actually?
See, in biased coin, standing on, not going to outcome.
Okay. It's a neutral scenario. Actually, it is not biased practically. I mean, either it will bias means actually, if you ask me, if you tell me
not biased, right, sir?
I think bias means every time it will come head. It is called bias.
Right. Not biased.
Head or maybe either. Yeah, not biased.
Yes.
Right.
Not biased. Not biased. Sorry.
Yes, not biased. Right. So, I mean, hardly will find that kind of scenario. That will not happen actually. If you toss a coin, either it will give you head or maybe tail. What is his observation? That scientists have observed that probability of head or probability of getting a head and probability of getting a tail will remain same if you keep on continuing. I mean, end of the life actually. So that head and tail, if you do it for 5 times only, maybe 3 times head will come and 2 times tail will come. But what he's saying actually it is mathematically possible, but theoretically possible. Practically, it is not possible that your head and tail would be same, because practically, if you toss a coin, you cannot keep on tossing throughout your life. You have to stop somewhere, and that is the huge difference between mathematics and statistics. So anyway, as per Bernoulli's trials, what he is saying that your head and tail would remain same if you keep on continuing tossing those coins. Okay. The result of one toss is independent of previous toss. This is very important line. Okay. That means your head and tail does not depend whether previously head and tail was occurred. Coin cannot understand. If previously tail occurred, then this time let me do head. No. So there is no dependency on the previous outcome, the previous toss. So based on his idea, there are three things we should remember as a Bernoulli stats, and based on that, actually, we have an example. We will see that. So only two possible outcomes of a trial, which is possible, either success or failure. Head and tail, he is saying it is success or failure. One trial is independent of others. So this time, if it is tail, it does not depend on previous occurrences, or previous what is happening. It does not. Okay. The probability of success and failure remains same across the trials. It is possible only in identical situation. I mean, it is very difficult to say whether probability of success and failure remain same until and unless you are not making it infinite. If you are running it in infinite time, then only it is possible. And infinite has no practical existence. It has
So
no practical value. Tell me.
can we say like this last one what you have tell, like it is going to be done in some of the rare case?
It is the rarest to rarest case. I
Okay.
mean, hardly it happens.
Okay.
You will find some type of variation. I mean, if you toss the coin for 5 times, you will not find that 2.5 times it would be head and 2.5 times it would be tail. No.
Okay.
That will never happen.
So like
Even
we
if
can say,
if you toss the coin for 6 times,
yeah.
it will not be the case that 3 times it would be head and 3 times it would be tail. No, that is not even the case.
No.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
it may happen or it may not happen. It depends. I'm not saying no. I mean, or maybe I'm not saying yes. So it all depends on the scenario.
Yes.
Now, based on that, we have a problem. Let's focus on the problem. So, guys, I'm requesting you to spend some time here in this particular problem. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what is your understanding, guys?
Sir, in this question, yeah, like I mean to say, in first condition, like when we are going to trial, two possibility outcome. So like here it is written like each trial can result in two possible outcomes. So each trial can result means that only two person can go for it, right? Otherwise, how it can be possible to go for two possible outcomes, whether it was wrong and or whether it was right?
Okay. Any other understanding? I'll come to you.
Yes.
I'll come to your question or whatever you're saying. No? No other understanding from the team?
Here it is said that 10% orders is wrong. That means, and the last term is the probability that the order taken correctly. Yes, that means 0.9. We have to find the probability among the 90%. We have to neglect this 10%. This is it.
Okay, guys, let me explain. First of all, let me read out first 2 to 3 lines. In an outlet of Burger King is very famous company in US. Basically located, they started their business in Chicago City, whatever you say. Okay, it's basically United States based, burger company. Now, when they have started their journey, they have found initially every day they used to take 500 orders. Okay, so 500 orders were taken per day. Now it has been found that on average 10% of the order are taken wrongly. That means 500 is the total number of orders every day. There are some background sounds. Can you please put yourself in mute? Yeah, thank you. No, still it is there.
Sir, you can mute one of the participants from your end.
Is it? Sure.
Yes.
I can do that. What is that option actually?
Ranjan sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, like, can we go for it? Like, we have to satisfy these three conditions in this problem statement.
Which problems? Okay, I will come to that. I'll come to that. Okay, so that means 500 orders were taken every day. Okay. Now
That means every day 50 orders are taken wrongly.
right, 10% orders are taken wrongly. That means 50 orders were taken wrongly. You are right. So 450. That means 450 orders were taken correctly. I can say
Correctly.
because total
Yes, sir.
order is 500. It's very straightforward mathematics. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, order taken wrongly means what? What does it mean exactly? It means, suppose I am a vegetarian. Now, if they send me a chicken pizza or chicken burger, will I have it? Of course not.
No.
No, sir.
Suppose you have placed an order for chicken burger. Now they have sent you a veg burger. Will you take it? Of course not. You have paid for chicken burger, but you are getting the veg burger. Of course, you will not take it. So that's the way they are. Sometimes they have made some mistakes. So the mistake is 10% mistake. Okay. Now let's come to the third line. Each trials can result in two possible outcomes via correct or wrong. So there are two options. Either correctly order was placed or incorrectly. So there are two possible outcomes, correct and incorrect. Each orders being taken is independent from other. There is no dependency. Suppose if you have placed an order and if I placed another order, there is no dependency that your order and my order are some dependent. No, that is not the case. That will never happen. Okay. Now, the probability that the order is taken as correctly is constant. That means 90% are correct order. For 50 orders are correct. That is true. That is happening. And 10% are mess up is happening, but that is that's possibly a very ideal scenario. Hardly it happens actually. This variation will be there. 10% could be sometimes 8%, it could be 12%. But anyway, they are considering 90% are correctly every day it is happening, and 10% it is happening incorrectly every day basis. Based on that, what they are objecting? Their objective is to find the probability of correct order. Okay. So how to get that? That is the question. So probability of correctness. Based on that, they have created a huge equation. You guys, if you see this equation, it seems a very huge equation, but it is not a huge equation. I will explain these things, which is known as the binomial distribution. Okay. Now, guys, actually, there are two things. Actually, I think actually we are overshooting the time. There is another class or session is there, I believe. Right?
No,
Yes,
No, sir, no, sir. I think no, sir.
Because Saurabh told me that thing, but I don't know. I think most of the people has dropped out. I can do one thing. I can take because since I don't know, there could be two possibilities. Either they are not getting the interest, or maybe actually because of some reason they have dropped out. So there are two things. So this explanation actually, every time if I have to explain these things multiple times, it will be quite difficult for me. Now I can just stop this session here, and I can take it maybe Monday or maybe Tuesday or another day, evening 9 p.m. If you guys are okay, I can take 1 hour or maybe
Yes, sir.
1.5 hour session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir,
think
it is
we're
okay.
with it.
But yeah, it is
We are okay
possible
with
after
that, but
Tuesday or after Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm completely okay.
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
completely okay with that.
Sir,
Perfectly okay with
you,
that.
you also
Yeah.
also told that, sir, you have to sit with this project.
Yeah, project actually
So
I will
Franklin
take it
Patterson
from
project,
those
sir.
guys. Yeah, yeah. People who are who are working on the project, just you can connect me separately.
Sir,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
yeah, can you tell me like, sir, the problem statement means how we are going to analysis, and depending what we are going to think about that the problem statement, and what we are going to like expect such kind of thing from problem statement, we are going to find exactly means what is the aim of problem statement we are going to find.
Where? From the banking project or from here?
Normal example, sir, you can give.
No, no. Actually, your question is not clear to me.
I mean to
Actually, sir, actually how we do, sir, analysis, or how actually we approach regarding the analysis, sir.
means depending upon
Okay,
what
okay.
depending
No,
upon what
I
like,
think this question actually I can address better through some examples, not this way. Okay. If you just show me your project, the day next day when we will connect, we can
yeah,
connect for, and I can just show you the project. I mean, it's better actually if I take you through the project, so
sure,
that it will be more easier for you to understand. If I just say you some words over the year, it
yeah.
will be very difficult for you to understand like what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Okay, sir.
So next time we'll connect. We can just, because this I wanted to finish up these things, because then actually we'll reach out to a logical conclusion. But anyway, no problem. So fine, it's okay with me. I can do one thing. So next, you guys decide, or maybe I can just also I can ping. Maybe we can do it on Wednesday. After Monday means Wednesday. After Tuesday means Wednesday or Thursday. We can do that. And that day, actually, I will complete this particular section, including hypothesis testing, so that it will be.
Sir, whenever you are available, then we are ready for it, I think. If you
I
are
am
busy,
available for
then
more than 1 hour. No, no, no. I mean, I will be busy, of
no. I
course,
mean,
but
on that,
after 9 p.m. I'll
I
be
mean, sir,
available.
on those days, on Monday, Tuesday, or
Yeah, yeah,
Wednesday.
right. I mean, after 9, actually, yeah, till
Can we
Tuesday,
fix
I'll
it
be.
Wednesday? If everybody is
That one
possible.
I have to check actually. I
Okay,
mean,
okay, okay.
I have to check my availability. I cannot
Sure,
assure you.
sure.
Maybe on the
Sir,
same day,
actually,
actually, I
sir, we
can.
after 9 p.m. Hello, sir. Hello, Nitin, sir. Actually, after 9 p.m. we are definitely free. I think no class or other class is not there. Expect Saturday, so we can easily join in meeting, sir.
Yes.
That's
Saurabh
fine.
is right,
That's
sir.
really sounds good. I have seen. You can see that. Okay. So see, the thing is, Saurabh, we can do any day. I
Okay,
don't
sir.
mind it.
Yes, sir. It's
I
fine,
don't
sir.
mind. Because see, I can see that actually sessions are going a little bit slower side. What is my expectation? It's going a little bit slower. So ideally, we should do it twice in a week so that actually we win a pace. Otherwise, actually, 1 day, 2 hours, it's a little bit difficult to frame all sort of things what I have planned so far.
Yes.
I have a huge plan actually, so I cannot fill up all those plans or all those ideas. I cannot give you. Maybe I can discuss with management, and we can just figure out more day, like one more day, or maybe we can do like that. Okay, so fine. Next day, what we will focus? We will focus on the remaining part. Basically, we are left with the understanding this Bernoulli's distributions understanding and normal distribution. And after that, actually, we'll jump into the hypothesis testing. So maybe on that day we can spend 1.5 hours or 2 hours. I don't mind actually. I'm very much energetic person. Okay. In that regards, since actually you guys are very much responsive, I really love that. So that's the reason actually I'm planning to take one more session on weekdays.
Some of us are responsive.
Sir, it is for good. It is very good for us, sir.
Yes,
Actually, we
yes,
want to learn
Yes,
this.
sir. It would be very good for us. It will be available for 1 hour each day. So it will
Yeah,
be
I can
good
do
for
that.
us.
I don't mind to do that, but I can do that actually.
Yes, yes, it is very helpful to us to
Sure,
schedule time.
in fact, you
1
can,
hour.
No,
people
sir,
who
I'm
are
not good in probability. I'm not good at probability. Frankly speaking, I'm not good at probability.
no problem. But have you understood today's concept?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. I think we all are understood that.
Yes, yes, we got
Thank you so much. Actually, see, that is my earning, I can say, from this batch.
Yes,
Earning does not
Actually, sir,
mean
I
that
can.
actually I'm getting some money.
Sir, actually, sir, yeah, teaching style is, sir, very well, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's why actually, sir, actually, we learn from you, sir.
I am also talking about that.
And
Actually,
frankly, I'm to
way
say
we
that,
have
sir.
learned.
Yes, sir.
That is
Thank you so
nice.
much, guys. Really, it is my honor. But yeah, I would like to deliver my maximum level. I would like to go in maximum speed, so that actually you will get the maximum out of it. Okay. In fact, from the project side also, guys, do not dilute project on the same day when I'm delivering something. If it is required, I'm ready to give one more day to take care of the project part. Because all of the people are not working on the project side, right? So people who are working on the project side, only they can connect on that particular session. Otherwise, what will happen, it will be a cumbersome thing. I mean, it will be very confusing. People who are completely new to these things, they will start thinking what Nilanjan is saying actually is talking about some projects and all these things. So that's the way actually you will get confused. Okay. I don't know. I am getting response from certain people. I'm not taking names actually, but some people are very, I think, very cold actually. So it is my request to all of you, please cheer up those guys. You say some interesting things are coming. This is not these are more theoretical. That's why you are feeling a little bit bored. I can understand.
No, but
Sir, actually, we don't, sir. We don't. Basically, the example you given, it is depend upon the practical and real life, sir. That's why we are very interested to actually see all these things.
Yeah, I have tried my level best actually to put up all these examples so that it will be more intuitive. People can understand easily, so that actually a layman can also understand. Even if you have no background, you can understand it easily. I have tried it in that way, but anyway, I can see that people are chopped up and maybe some people are not responding. Especially the girls are completely in silo. I can see that. I don't know whether they are feeling really shy or something to talk in front of someone. What they are thinking, I don't know. It's not about boys and girls, but the fact is actually some people are completely cold. So my request, please cheer up them. Please say them. Some interesting things are coming in. If you guys are really interested, please participate and continue with this. Okay, thank you guys. I think
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so
One more
much,
thing,
sir.
sir. Sir, one more thing, sir. Here I'm Saurav speaking, sir. Sir, whenever you get free, we'll definitely join your class. Just inform us a little bit 1 to 2 hours before, sir.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Any week, sir. After
Just
9 p.m., sir.
inform us, then we'll
9
be.
p.m. or 6 p.m., sir.
Yeah, I'm actually, I will be, my availability is also always be after 9 p.m. only. Before 9 p.m. it is not possible.
Sir, okay, sir, fine. It's fine, sir. Fine, sir. After 9 p.m. I will definitely.
Yeah, but after 9 p.m. I can definitely give time. No problem.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I'm with you. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye and take care, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Goodbye and take care.
Bye. You too, sir. Bye.
সৌরভ তুই পাঠিয়ে দিস ভিডিওটা।
আরে আমার কাছে নেই, ওটা অলোক স্যারের কাছে আছে।
ও আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
অলোক স্যার রেকর্ডিংটা করছে।
ঠিক আছে।
ঠিক আছে, লিভ করছি, বুঝলি? তপন দা?
হ্যাঁ, লিভ আমিও করছি।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
মাম্মা কি ভালো ভালো খাবার দাবার বানাচ্ছে না? হ্যাঁ কি রে মাম্মা কি ভালো ভালো খাবার বানাচ্ছে না? কেন কালকে বমি টমি করে